there, my antisocial butterflies. Welcome back to another episode of the Antisocial Socialite. I actually took a much needed break over these last couple of weeks because of everything that's been happening in the world. I traditionally deliver the gossip and the trending news and all of that fun stuff at the beginning of my shows to share with you, but I just didn't honestly think that this time was the appropriate time to be talking about all of that. There is so much hate and hurt that's going on in the world right now that my soul has been totally crushed and exhausted watching the news. But also, more importantly, watching my loved ones and the rest of the world begin to process, mourn, and feel outrage about what's been happening. Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd are all household names now, but they should not have been introduced to us in the manner that they were. The latest incident that took place in Minneapolis has brought the U.S. to a new wave of the civil rights movement. And to be honest, I personally think that the protests and the riots are long overdue, and America fucking deserves like everything that is happening right now. So, I wanted to take some time to donate, and I actually noticed that my company donated to Campaign Zero. I researched their website and I felt like it was in line with what I wanted to invest my money with. While I do appreciate these amazing protesters that are going out there and the funds that are set up to bail them out, I feel like there needs to be more long-term solutions for the betterment of this country. So, Campaign Zero, in a nutshell, actually aims to have police reform through achievable measures. I thought it was pretty cool, and I think that we need to discuss a little bit more about the reform or defunding of police departments. I'm not usually super vocal about where I donate because I don't feel like where I invest my money really needs to be acknowledged, praised, or boasted. I'm also not the type to ride that wave of a hashtag moment or post a filtered temporary profile picture on Facebook. It's not me, it's never been me, so don't expect it to ever be me. I'm also not feeling the vibe of the marketing tactics and empty unity from brands that are coming out to save face. Instead of just posting on social media, take action and make changes. To me, reform in law enforcement and in the prison system are actually things that are super important to me. My brother has actually been incarcerated in a maximum security prison since 2002, and I've experienced on the outside from myself and my family, but also on the inside, what's been taking place to my brother over these last 18 years, and it is hell. You know, thankfully he will be released soon, and my family and I are actually beginning to prepare for his homecoming. I am just starting the journey of finding transition programs and all of that to get him settled back into the world, but I just don't know what is out there. So if you guys have anything to share, please comment, DM, get in touch with me, because I really need to start researching this and taking account for what we need to do to get him home safely. I think reform in prisons are super important because I think education is a huge piece that is missing from a lot of these inmates' lives, but also having those programs in place and education and trade teachings and all of that to get them to understand when they re-enter the world, the intention is to not have them be reoffenders. Obviously, that's not going to happen for everybody. It is inevitable that people will repeatedly go to jail, but I do feel like for what is happening right now, we have to take a closer look. Instead of having mass incarcerations and overpopulated prisons, instead of building them, let's build our society. Let's make society an amazing place to be so people don't feel the need to either commit a crime or are in the state where they're falsely accused of committing a crime and then incarcerated. So please share any info that you guys have for me. I'm super excited to get on this journey, get my brother home. It's been a long friggin' time, so I'm ready for it. But all right, so before we do that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. I do have somebody special giving you this little brief pause in my show, so enjoy.
Commercial break brought to you by Bantu Knots Birthday Bitches and Balloons.
All right, so tell me, did you enjoy that commercial break? Yes, that is the birthday girl herself, Janaea, my roommate. Her birthday is on June 9th, and my mom's birthday is June 10th, so I actually wanted to dedicate this episode to my lovely ladies. Happy birthday to the both of you. I love you so much. Yeah. That was so annoying. I'll never do that again. All right, but anyway, family is super important to me. I talked a little bit before the commercial break about my brother, and then my mom and my roommates and a lot of other friends I actually consider family, even if they're not related to me. But in my room, while I'm enjoying the AC, which is why I'm recording my episode here, I do want to give you a little tour. So behind me right here is actually my grandfather's embalming license. Yes, that's right. He graduated embalming school because he was a funeral home director. He owned a few funeral homes and retired, I want to say in like 2000. I don't even remember. I gotta ask my mom that one, but he actually ended up passing away in 2004 and I miss him every day. But with that being said, I always thought it was super funny because he was petrified of spiders but had no problem being around dead bodies all day long. It's a little freaky, whatever, but everybody has their own quirks. All right, and then over here to my right, your left, however you want to look at it, flip your phone upside down, whatever, it's cool, but I do have my Hayden gallery. My niece Hayden has been coming to Boston ever since she was a baby, and every time she would come up here, I would grab my canvas, my paints, and she would create some masterpieces. So I obviously had to place them somewhere, and I have a whole entire wall dedicated to her. She will be 11 at the end of the summer. Kobe Bryant's birthday, they actually share the same birthday. A lot of these are from when she was super little, about 4 years old, but I do want to rotate them out. I'm actually redecorating my room right now, so if you see new paintings behind me soon, don't be alarmed. It's just my favorite artist has some new masterpieces I need to present. So, speaking of family and how I have my blood relatives that are super important, I also have family members that are not blood related but just as important to me. In this week's interview, I have Cheyenne and Alex. They're my really close friends and I miss them so much. They're actually living in California and I will be seeing them in the next few days, so I'm so excited because they're coming out here. But anyway, I do have my interview with them about their company, Litty Co, and you can get to hear a little bit about their life in China pre-COVID and how they had to come home because of Corona. So anyway, enjoy clips from this interview and I will see you when we're done. So, hi guys.
Hey, Katie.
Hi, all the way from Boston to Cali.
Coast to coast.
Coast to coast, sending virtual hugs till I can see you again.
Hugs and kisses.
Exactly.
So, excellent. So, tell us about Litty Co and what it's about and what you're doing and all that fun stuff that we need to know about your brand.
Yeah, so just to hit it off, I suppose. So we're Litty Co. And
Thank you for wearing your own shirt, by the way.
We're
actually both.
Shirts, plural, shirts, yes.
I was gonna wear gray and match him, but then I was like, maybe not.
A little too cliche.
Wear whatever you want. I'm like, wear pajamas on this thing, wear a prom dress. I'm like, do
it's okay.
Right.
We didn't want to blend in the background, so we had
exactly. You have to stand out, Cheyenne. So I'm glad that you wore something different.
Well, Litty Co. So basically, he's a former pro basketball player, and I'm a former collegiate player. We went over to China, and we got to work with youth. And prior to that, we had dreams of kind of wanting our own facility to work with youth, combine it with fitness and sports together. And going to China was kind of the starting point of that. That way, we're more hands-on with the kids and really kind of get the gist of what it is. And as we started creating Litty Co, it started blooming into kind of what it is now, especially after coming home. We got connected with all the local teams as far as basketball goes and even fitness. We started combining it and now we're working with them and collabing and kind of doing workouts. So we kind of want to bring back what we grew up with. You could say the generation now is a little bit different as far as sports goes versus what we grew up with. We grew up with a very strict, gritty type of training. It's like if you're not in the gym to, get down and dirty and get there and do what you need to do, then get out of the gym.
So, I mean, and that's legit. If you want to succeed, you kind of have to have that mentality to do it. Otherwise, if you're just there for the participation trophy, you're not going to succeed. You really have to get down and dirty. I've seen both of you play personally. So it's nice to see the dynamic of what you've grown up with and the foundation that you had growing up and what you plan on training the youth when, you're able to facilitate, coach, do whatever, have your own facility to have kids in there, but still we're stuck in the house right now. So Litty Co, what does it mean? What is the inspiration mean?
Really, it's kind of a blend of multiple different things. It's something that we tried to tailor towards the generation that's coming up, a little bit more catchy, something that you hear on the street, more of the slang of Litty or lit. And kind of running along with that, but also it's almost like a tip of the hat to where we come from, because the shaka, which is the hand gesture, is something that's huge here in California. So that supersedes any generational boundaries, from an 80-year-old on the beach to some skateboarders or basketball players that are on the court just messing around. So that was something that we kind of wanted to implement, just again to kind of give back to the community that brought us up and tie in that family idea.
That's amazing. Well, both of you are super family oriented. So again, when we talk about foundation and structure and all of that, that's a huge inspiration. The difference not only with the generational changes, but being in China, like what have you noticed in terms of the way that they're coached and taught how to play basketball in general? You did say the softer approach. Is that the norm in China for the way that they're taught? Like, what did you notice that was the biggest difference between the way that Americans are taught versus Chinese people are taught to play sports?
Man, that's a tough question, because in China, I feel like compared to the type of basketball we grew up with, or even what we see now, everyone plays basketball in China. Basketball is everything. You can't just go to a park and shoot. You have to pay to get in, or just on the court to shoot if you want to be there.
Really? Okay.
Basketball, everything. I feel like they're lacking in, it's a tough question, because I feel like they idolize foreigners. So they hire foreigners. Like, that's the thing. We have a lot of experience. It's a good thing to, hire, ex-pro players or, current pro players or ex-collegiate players. But I feel like it's all money out there. So I feel like a lot of people take advantage of the Chinese, to be honest. I don't know. It's so different. And then
Well, it's the whole dynamic of it is different. But like you talk about the idolization of foreigners, and I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, but I was cracking up because when I went to Disneyland in Hong Kong, I had an older couple come up and they were like, "Oh, cute little blonde girl. She's definitely American. Let's take our picture with her." So I'm in this old couple's camera roll somewhere in this world right now. And, it's just so funny how they see foreigners in a different landscape than how we see them. I mean, obviously being in California, being in Boston, you both used to live in Boston, you see the diversity that we do have here in the United States. So over there, unless you're in a larger city that does have more of a foreign population, it is really Chinese culture through and through in different villages, provinces, all of that. So I definitely bet that you had a lot of attention on you just looking the way that you do. A cute little petite blonde girl and this tall, skinny, handsome man with this forever growing hair up. I know, and no beard anymore. No beard.
Oh, so. I cut it all off.
I know that you're doing the opposite, where everybody's growing the beard for quarantine. You're like, I'm getting rid of it for quarantine.
Trendsetters, we do the opposite.
Yes, no, absolutely. You're going to start a new trend for the rest of 2020, because maybe one day we'll be able to leave our homes and everybody would be like, I like what that kid's doing. I'm going to do that now. Clean faces are back.
Right.
So now that you're back on U.S. soil and you're working on your brand over here now, like what is the goal that you want to achieve with Litty Co? Excuse me, I'm choking on my own spit because I'm so excited.
It's so humid out there.
Yeah.
You come back to California.
Yeah, I know, right? No, okay, so but now the fact that you are back in California, what do you want to do with your brand? So you talked about having your own facility. Do you want to keep it West Coast based? Do you want to be all over? Are you going to be traveling? Like, what is the intention of what you want to get out of your brand?
Yeah, so right now we are basing everything out of Southern California just because we do have, the right places in terms of gaining clients and getting to the kids as best as we can. We do have a studio that should be opening up, specifically a Litty Co studio, set up ours in Huntington. That should open up in the next few weeks, but our main goal is to reach as many people as possible. Seeing the different cultures, like she was saying, the different ways that they treat athletes or how they view their teaching ability in other countries, and I've seen a few other places during my travels. I think the biggest thing is being able to reach them. So hopefully growing Litty to the point where we are able to expand our reach coast to coast in the US, but also internationally, in being able to teach people and hopefully getting more people on our staff to understand how we teach, and then being able to teach through them and expanding our reach that way as well.
And I think as you're speaking, when you talk about younger kids, and now we're in such a deep social media era, just by posting on Instagram or on Twitter or wherever, I feel like you are going to be able to gain such a larger audience than to be promoting through schools or posting a flyer or doing all of these things. You have the world at your fingertips right now, which is such an incredible thing. So being able, especially if you're able to open, and we were just talking right before this, but parks still being closed and all of that, once it's safe to go out and do physical activities and all of that, these kids have been so housebound, they're going to want to have that structure, that guidance, that one-on-one teaching, where they're doing a lot of online courses. How can we find you guys? What can we discover about Litty? Where do we find you on social media, or how do we get in touch with you?
So everything is through the social media. Luckily, Cheyenne is a little bit more adept in the social media age than I am, but everything is connected on our Instagram, and from there the link takes you directly to our page. If you wanted to contact us about one-on-one sessions, setting up a group session with discounts, we are setting up another way to order clothing. While that's not our main focus, we do want to be able to get that brand out there so people can see it versus just hearing about it. So that would be the easiest way to get in contact with us, through our social media at that point.
Excellent. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk to me. I really, really appreciate it. And I'll be seeing you in a few weeks.
Very soon.
And then I'll give you real hugs that time, not just virtual hugs.
We'll bring our big trash bags to wear so we can actually have physical contact.
Yes. Have you seen those giant shields with the arms that people are doing? I'm totally going to have that ready for you.
We're going to have it on the flight the whole way. We'll disinfect it, and then we'll come give you a hug.
Yeah. I can't wait. I hope you enjoyed my interview with those two little cuties, Alex and Cheyenne. I'm so excited to actually see them because they're flying to Boston in the next day or so. And yeah, it's not really a good idea to still be giving hugs right now because of COVID. I don't care. That's right, I don't care. I'm gonna love up on them because I've missed them so much. And yes, Mom, I will be wearing my mask, okay? You can't yell at me because I know you're probably watching this right now, but you're not allowed to yell at me because this is your birthday episode, okay? So I don't want to hear any Catherine Lee, how dare you stuff. Save it for somebody who cares. No, not really, but I love you, Mom. But anyway, next week's episode is episode number 6. The number 6 is my favorite number, so I'm gonna be dedicating this episode to all of my favorites. So if you want to hear me talk about favorite musicians, food, artists, brand of roller skates, I don't know, I don't really have one, so don't ask me that question. Please let me know. I'm super curious what you guys want to know about me, and I'm more than welcome to share my life with you. So keep me posted, but until then, be well, watch Schitt's Creek, have fun, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.